our favorite FBI informant is in the chat.
Oh, Brian?
Yeah. Still don't know what about that. That didn't seem like one of the few things you bring up in a chat with a bunch of people you just met, you know?
Yeah.
No. But then again, neither is I suck my own dick, so.
Yeah.
That's true, too.
We've all seen that, so.
Yeah.
You had to remind me, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, because if it's in my head, it's in yours.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Brian's actually not an informant. He's going to sue.
Oh.
Okay, cool. So how are you doing tonight, JT?
I'm doing okay, considering.
Dude.
I opened up a nerve and got in my ear and down my throat, and other than that, just waiting to see what for the other shoe to drop, you know?
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I'm pretty good. I'm ready for them to finish my bathroom and bedroom.
Yeah, what's up
You,
with
if I
that,
lived
Dylan?
down there, man, you'd be done by now, and you'd still have a toilet in your bedroom.
Yep.
I want to make that a reality.
How you doing tonight, Jim?
I'm doing excellent, thank you.
Cool. How you doing, Dylan?
Wish I could say I was doing okay, Chuck, with the information that I told you before the show and everything. I wish I could say I was doing good.
Yeah.
But, hanging in there.
Okay. So what are you vaping on tonight, Dylan?
Billet box with my new toy, the Wick Alpha, inside of the duck boat tank. And for the juice, some butterscotch drizzled ice cream. Big brother,
Hi,
what are we vaping on?
I've got my Therion, sorry, with the drop on top of that from my brother George. I've got the Gua with the blaze on top of it. I've got the sand, and that's got the ether in it. I brought back the Cthulhu. I really like the Cthulhu. That's got the Cthulhu bridge in it. And, of course, the Blaze AIO. That's a very good backup. And that's got the Blaze bridge in it. JT.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same old, but I did get real experimental. And I went ahead and put the intake on the Thelema for Brother George.
Last time I heard experiment, I was in therapy for weeks. No.
Last I heard the word experiment, I became the experiment.
No, Coach Canada. No.
Estimator tip $10.
Then I put the bulk on the Gower. So that's into that experiment. I thought I'd almost lost my drip tip last night for the Ares 2 on the Ursa Quest.
I know you can get one.
Oh, yeah?
I do. Know a guy.
Cool. Good, as long as it's got the nipple on the bottom. And then you got the...
in ribs.
And I'm also running the ether.
Oh.
Still liking the pineapple coconut spice rum.
Ooh.
I didn't know I would like something like that. But I'm not sure about the synthetic nicotine. Some of my scales are falling off my back, you know.
Oh.
What are you vaping on, Chuck?
The Cthulhu.
Gesundheit.
And got the maybe inside it. The Raven. And what else?
Nevermore.
Nevermore.
The Tete.
Hey, Dylan's in the room here.
Okay.
Pulsating
Nevermore.
Arrow? No, I'm not. Damn it.
That one just looks good. I like that color.
Yeah,
Yeah, that color's nice.
that was the only one available when I got it.
No, that one's the Pulse.
Stubby 21,
Okay.
and with the Ponte Burro tall boy. This was actually going, this tall boy, this was going for $30 less than the regular sized one for other Boros. It's like, what the fuck, people?
So you're telling me size matters?
Yeah, big one's cheaper. Hey, Brett. Hey, Troy.
Worth more.
Hey, Brett.
What's going on, Brett?
Hey, Brett. Hey, Troy. I see
Come on,
Brian,
Troy.
George, Steve, Devin,
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
No, that's it. That's everybody. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I know. That's the only way we'll get any subsidies is having Dylan on the show there, Troy.
What is that supposed to mean?
We get the Special Olympics funding.
Yeah.
Jim. I'm not that special.
Well, we know that, but we weren't saying it out loud.
His new bus only has 3 tires.
Fucked up.
And they don't go round and round.
Well, somebody informed me right before the show, it was Devin, that the Supreme Court has sided with the FDA on flavored vaping.
I don't know. I feel like there's more to that than just that, because it was an NBC report.
True.
Well, and I wasn't keeping up with Greg Connolly on X today, so.
But how many times have you heard the Supreme Court said New York can't discriminate for handguns, and they still do?
Yeah.
How many times you hear the Supreme Court voted for this and we still do? So I don't know. I think there's more to it than just what, I mean, they're not only going to report what they want people to feel good about. Think they got the upper hand, kind of takes the wind out of your sails. Maybe you won't fight so hard.
But then again, it's looking like the courts are trying to impose a coup on our federal government.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to get the MAGA people stirred up enough to start their civil war that they've been wanting.
Liberals.
And that's
seem-
exactly why we haven't gone to arms. Because that's exactly where they want to take it.
Yeah.
But I was watching, I can't remember the guy's name. I don't watch him often, but he does a lot of Hollywood and stuff like that. But he decided to do a show on the Tesla stuff. And he was just showing me just outright attacks, not the ones in the, in the news, but just general outright attacks. People getting spit on, parking the Tesla in the parking lot. But we're the cult, we're the evil bastards.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's Saul Alinsky accuse your opponent of doing exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really backfired on them, because I do believe their party was misled. And there are more people out there that are politically ignorant. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They just don't follow politics. Like my brother was one. I just don't care. It doesn't affect me. I still got to get up and go to work tomorrow. I still got to pay my bills. I don't care what's going on. Well, you had a lot of those. And they only heard the buzzword. They only hear what the networks were telling them. And now that the playing field has been leveled and we can say shit now, eyes are getting opened. I don't think every Democrat was evil. I really don't. I just think a lot of them were just misinformed, misled. And I would rather believe what I want to believe than the truth a lot of times,
Yep. It makes sense.
That you don't want to be the one sitting there in front of everybody having to confess that you made the wrong decision.
That's
Or
what
that
keeps
you
them to their
did.
guns.
Yep. Sounds like a pride thing to me.
Well, that's it. Your pride gets so big, you can't admit it. You got to double down. You got to. I mean, I got to ride this out now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happy Liberation Day, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Happy Liberation Day.
Forgot about that. And
Making history, right?
Val Kilmer died.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed his movies.
Yep.
Yeah, but he wasn't the best Batman.
No.
No,
Adam
I'm not a
West.
big Batman fan anyway, and I know that.
And fucking Michael Keaton.
And Michael Keaton. Yep. Adam West and Michael Keaton.
Adam West.
No,
If
I
they
don't
don't do
remember.
the Batusi, they're not Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was the one from the series in the 40s as The Adventures of Batman and Robin.
Oh, yeah.
I need to look that up.
I do remember. I've seen clips of it.
The serials.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, one of the downsides of Hollywood remaking shit all the time is that there's a million titles that are the same
Yeah.
in IMDb.
Yep.
I'm Batman.
I think Dylan left his medicine out again.
I really did. Yes.
Ah,
Eat a dick.
eat a dick. He takes 3 of those a day.
Save a horse, eat a cowboy.
And, I
And
tell
he eats
people,
it takes a pill.
and every time I don't take my medication, apparently, according to JT, I tell people to go fuck off.
Well, not really. Most of them, I tell them that you say, you're going to sodomize me.
I'll sodomize you.
So Australia's dealing with some bullshit with a bit about vaping and smoking.
Again?
Yeah, oh, constantly, yeah.
Damn. I know Bogan said for his juice line, they had to pull it. That way they can make it like compatible for like pharmacies and stuff like that with like tobacco, menthol, and whatever other flavoring that they said they can do.
Yeah. I got a little short video about it.
Australia's tobacco excise revenue has dropped to a 9-year low of $9.7 billion in 2022 to 23.
That's the tax, the excise tax that they have on cigarettes and probably vaping too, I'm not sure. But they're getting less revenue from it because of all the black market shit.
Down 40% from the 2019 to 20 peak of $16.3 billion. Economists attribute the decline to both reduced smoking rates and a surge in black market cigarette sales, driven by successive tax hikes that have pushed legal prices to around $50 per pack. Treasury has repeatedly overestimated tobacco tax revenue since 2019, with a further $10.7 billion downgrade projected over the next 4 years. Experts warn that higher excise rates may now be fueling illicit trade rather than deterring smoking.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what my takeaway from that was? And it was a great piece. I'm sorry, Chuck, but that dirty ashtray, I don't miss that. When they showed that dirty ashtray, it's like, ah!
Damn it, I got my robe here again. I keep forgetting to put it away. I get up in the morning and I come out here and have a cup of coffee, watch some Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
But yeah, there's a hole in this robe from a cigarette.
Yeah, my robe. I'm using my robe. It's just full of holes, yeah.
Yeah. But I
got a
tried to
blanket like that.
do what?
I said I got a blanket like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to replace it one time, but it turned out the robe that I got to replace it, I don't like it because it's got a hoodie. It's a pain in the ass to put on in the dark.
Try a camouflage one. My daughter bought me a camouflage one. Oh, Christ, she had to bought that 25 years ago now.
Yeah.
And I'm still using it. I love the robe. It's comfortable. It's warm, and it, you know, try to put a camouflage robe on when you just wake up, and yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, well, I got something here. Now this came out, they recorded this the day before April Fool's, but it sounds like April Fool's bullshit, but it might not be. Hang on. Let's share the screen. Share the screen. There we go. Oh, I gotta unmute the screen.
Yeah, you gotta do something.
Now
man.
going through all of this, I hope you'll come back on the show with more revelations that airstrip was. We all know that was a fabricated story, or if you watch this show, you probably understand that. Hitler actually fled Germany weeks before that, using a group of underground tunnels that led to an airstrip. And that airstrip was flown. He was flown from Berlin out. It took submarines, or multiple submarines that were used, U-boats that were then sent to Argentina. In other words, Hitler lived for nearly 2 decades more in Argentina.
I forgot to transition. God, why is transitioning so hard these days? Okay.
I think most people know this story and who have studied the subject know that Adolf Hitler didn't kill himself in a bunker in Berlin as the Red Army closed in. I think that's, we all know that was a fabricated story, or if you watch this show, you probably understand that. Hitler actually fled Germany weeks before that, using a group of underground tunnels that led to an airstrip. And that airstrip was flown. He was flown from Berlin out. It took submarines, or multiple submarines that were used, U-boats that were then sent to Argentina. In other words, Hitler lived for nearly 2 decades more in Argentina, along with vast numbers of the Third Reich. Well, now Argentinian President Javier Milei has just ordered the release of all remaining documents on all of those Nazis who fled Germany and moved to Argentina after World War II. Basically, it was almost like a second base of operations in Argentina. If you're not familiar with that, like basically the Third Reich operated out of Argentina and Germany. And many of them, including Adolf Hitler, lived in Argentina well after 1945. Most people know that Hitler lived out his days in Bariloche, Argentina, until he died there in the mid-1960s. Yes, you can read the CIA documents about this. The FBI documents also about sightings of Hitler in this area. They knew about it. Of course they knew about it. It was largely facilitated, I think it's safe to say, by the United States and its allies. Operation Paperclip, anybody? Quid pro quo?
Also, if you look into this, the skull that is held in Russia that was supposedly the remains of Adolf Hitler with a bullet wound in it is female.
Yeah.
So when you look for proof that Hitler did in fact kill himself in the bunker, you are going to find a lot of dead ends.
Yeah. And all you need to read, you can read a great book on this called The Gray Wolf. It's a great book. There's many books written about this now. But yeah, the skull, the fragments, they ran the DNA tests on it. And the Soviets allowed them them to do this testing. And even Stalin openly talked about that Hitler lived, that he was not there. So Stalin even knew about it. It's widely known in Argentina, by the way, well known, that Hitler sired 2 children while he lived in Argentina after the war. 2 girls.
Dylan, that means that he had 2 daughters.
Wouldn't that be something to learn where Hitler's children are today? Like Hitler's descendants? That'd be interesting. No. Maybe we'll learn that in those documents as well. But we'll be watching this story. I'm fascinated. It seems like there's an open era of transparency right now. You might be wondering about the Epstein files. Our friend of the show, Kyle Seraphin, just a few minutes ago dropped a bombshell that he has confirmation from 2 agents who are actively working on the task force inside right now of the DOJ. They have 16 terabytes of data that they're going through right now on these Epstein files, hundreds of child victims. So there's all sorts of hoops and hurdles they have to jump over on all of this, but they're actively working on this, like a task force that's been assigned to deep dive all of the records of Jeffrey Epstein. So what's amazing to me is that during the Biden administration, they were sitting on 16 terabytes of information and files and child victims that they did nothing about. They just sat on this information and did nothing.
Okay, now, I don't know if that's true. That's a common conspiracy theory about Hitler moving to Argentina. But they're promoting a book that says that's what happened.
Yeah, but now we got to change the name of a book and a movie. Yep. Wasn't The Boys from Brazil?
Right. Now
it was Argentina.
It's the girls from Brazil.
Yeah, you'd be foolish to think if he really did kill himself. I mean, come on. He had a contingency.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And never forget, they said he had 8 doubles.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that.
Didn't Hussein do that, too? He had people surgically altered to look like him.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. Now they got a picture of him in a boat with them.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That Epstein shit. They have to have volunteers looking at the videos.
Brett, as a matter of fact, Dylan was on the island. He was the one who used to say, "The plane! The plane!"
Yes. Wow, whoever did that noise is fucked up.
That was... Oh. Yeah.
What did Cinderella say when she got to the ball, Dylan?
What? Dick.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, they're taking their time. I don't think we're going to hear much more about Epstein's files.
They're gonna screw it around and screw it around. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yep, just like P. Diddy. We're not going to hear shit about that.
Yeah, he kind of dropped out of the news, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, they say them guys that have to watch them films don't last very long. It screws them up bad.
Yep.
Because they're talking about even snuff films and all in there.
Damn. That's sick.
Sick fucks.
Yep. Oh, okay. A gang raids an entire strip mall as New York City collapses. It's a little bit of Cash Jordan. Nope, I gotta unmute it first. There we go.
Damn it, Dylan.
Damn it, Dylan.
Damn it.
Damn it, Dylan.
Jim, was I on point with that?
It happened just before 9:30 last night. The thief broke the front window.
So, this store behind me was recently robbed, the windows smashed, but this is the second time thieves have hit this place within the last year. And while shoplifting is a problem at pretty much every store in town, stealing from a well-secured luxury boutique isn't something your average thief can pull off. However, because our laws don't criminalize theft below $1,000 in value, petty crooks here get unlimited practice perfecting their craft. And that's why it's only a matter of time before they're ready to try and rob a place like this.
The surveillance video we just received from police shows the entire heist captured on camera. In a matter of minutes, 3 suspects made off with about $51,000 worth of stolen merchandise.
Right now, an active investigation is underway to find the 2 men who police say smashed the front window of the Chanel store just right behind me and got away with around $30,000 worth of merchandise. That window this morning all boarded up.
That's crazy. $1 million?
Police say Monday night, this man allegedly put $1.5 million of jewelry in a suitcase and tried to get away.
It's really sad, but I mean, you know, it's normal that we hear it all the time. I see always people walking out with a bunch of jackets, sometimes even the whole trolley full of jackets.
A store robbery in Washington Heights caught on camera watches this man in a black coat quickly turns and sprays chemicals on the ground.
It was here, he sprayed some over here.
Customers seen walking in immediately coughing as the thieves then grabbed a pile of clothes at the display table and made their getaway. The thief doing a quick spin before flashing a gun to the employee to stop her from stopping him.
So Dylan, what have you brought home?
Nothing. I don't know where that was located.
That was Midtown.
Yeah, I was nowhere near Midtown.
Yeah, bullshit.
Prove it.
I don't go near Midtown.
Yeah. Let's see. We need.
Where
some
were you
visual
last night?
proof.
Here in this room, because Jim, I was on Zoom with you.
What'd you do after Zoom?
Going to bed, pass the fuck out.
With who?
Myself.
Prove it.
Yeah. That's not a credible witness.
Hold on. Do you not see how disgusting my fucking bed looks?
You want to go see my bed? My bed's messy. No, it ain't. She made the bed. Sorry.
I don't have a bed. I don't have a bed right now. So
valid proof.
No,
it's
my
not.
point is, you can't prove it.
No.
That's valid proof. My room's still a fucking pigsty after I fucking destroyed it and went to bed.
I'm sorry. I heard a report of an Oompa Loompa stealing Nike sneakers and
fucking shit, just Oompa Loompa.
Troy brought up something too, an important thing about Epstein. Said that he had a note from his mom. It was signed Epstein's mom.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Well,
Connor.
that makes everything better.
As Brett just yelled at me to clean my bed.
Dylan shops at Getchy.
The fuck? No, I really don't.
I thought it was itchy.
I thought it was scratchy.
Hey, it's Japanese itchy scratchy to you. He has no idea what I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Cheech and
Don't
Chong.
judge me, fucker.
So New York's revolving door justice system is essentially a training program that creates hardened career criminals. And what nobody running New York will admit is that everyone should have seen this coming because we're giving thieves unlimited get-out-of-jail-free cards and they're using them. As you'd expect, turning the streets of this city into a real-life version of Grand Theft Auto where criminals steal things over and over again with no incentive to stop. In fact, with no consequences for most theft, criminals have nothing to lose if they try to steal things and get caught. Because the worst thing that happens is they spend a few hours hanging out with the police before being set free with a misdemeanor charge. And when you add to our zero consequences legal system the rampant street vending we allow here, New York City becomes a place place where there are unlimited opportunities to resell stolen property. Now, of course, street vending is also illegal without a license, but since it's also not a criminal offense, there are open-air theft markets operating all year round in some parts of town, which only disappear when the vans selling stolen property close their doors and speed away when their lookouts spot the police, who at best will issue a few tickets and confiscate goods these criminals never paid for in the first place. But there's a problem.
Dylan, do you have a van?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Not every crook in town is content with robbing places like CVS and Home Depot. And that brings us to the real reason raids at luxury stores are a growing problem. We've created an army of criminals who've got practice getting away with pretty much anything. And they're now setting their sights on the wealthiest parts of New York, which include stores like Chanel and Gucci, and also gyms like Equinox, where a gang has stolen almost $100,000 from customers at exclusive members-only fitness clubs. On top of that, there's the guy who tried stealing over $1 million in jewelry from Macy's before luckily getting spotted and then running away. But as you're about to see, getting busted, that's the last thing on the minds of any of these criminals. So here we are at the Chanel, which was just robbed. That's the window that the thieves smashed, and you'll notice that in this window right over here, the display cases are now empty, as is the case with a bunch of other stores on the street. It looks like these businesses know that criminals can smash these windows, reach in and just take what they want and escape with zero consequences, which is exactly what they did right over here for the second time in the last year.
The thief broke the front window with an unknown object and grabbed about $12,000 in goods before getting away. This is the same Chanel store broken into last October by two men with sledgehammers.
So the worst thing about these heists is there's absolutely nothing sophisticated about them. These are just smash and grab robberies, old school theft, which perfectly explains why none of these stores want to risk keeping merchandise near their windows anymore. Unless they've now got full-time security guards, which this Chanel also has. But before we get into the details of who these criminals are, you've got to understand something, which is that these guys are absolutely fearless. These stores have the most sophisticated security cameras you can buy. And the reason some of these larger display cases by windows are empty is because it doesn't make sense to have a few $100,000 sitting right here if criminals can take it and then escape in just minutes without getting...
Yeah, all you need is a hammer. And you can take home what you want. Oh shit, Dylan went to the fucking Gucci shop.
Oh, there we go again.
I didn't do it.
I like how they were into the Dylan Appreciation Day and had those empty windows.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Oh, we have witnesses.
Chuck, I'm innocent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's the first thing a guilty person would say.
Famous last words.
It'll hurt my feelings, Chuck. I used to love you.
Yeah.
But he had to kill you.
Damn it, Dylan!
Shit.
And Marcus, you were busy eating Tide Pods.
Oh. Yeah, you guys hear about how well free speech is going over in Europe and England, right? They don't have it.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have it. You can bully individuals all you want if you're an institution, and just tell them, and as soon as they complain about it, call the cops.
Hey, California's about to be just as good. They've decided to pass a bill that is going to make it where you misgender your child. They're going to take them away from you.
Devin says he mixed a 120 ml strawberry bubblegum.
Really? Hey, Marcus. Hey, Nathan.
Hey, Nathan. Hey, Marcus.
Fair dinkum. how Fauci's wife got fired.
No.
Really?
Yeah, she worked at the NIH that just happened to approve the drugs that Fauci was making.
You got to be mistaken. They wouldn't do that.
Of course not.
Then some nurse at the hospital decided to sit there and argue politics. Not a good idea while you're working, dumbass.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you rat those people out for, Dylan?
Not my fault. I'm innocent.
Doggone it.
Damn it, stop fucking with Chuck's things.
Yeah. Here we go.
6 police officers came to my house and arrested me. Why? Because I'd been talking about my daughter's school on a WhatsApp group. It was the morning of Wednesday the 29th of January, about 11:45. I was on a Zoom call for a work project, when on my Zoom screen, in the little window where I saw my own face, I realised that 2 police officers were standing behind me. Another 2 police officers were arresting my partner, Rosalind, in front of Francesca, our 3-year-old daughter. They bundled us into the police cars and took us off to custody at Stevenage Police Station, where we remained for the next 12 hours. He arrested me on suspicion of harassment and malicious communications, and it was to do with a dispute with our daughter's primary school, which began with posts on a WhatsApp group. On the 23rd of November 2023, the head teacher of my daughter's primary school announced he would retire. But what seemed strange to me was the Board of Governors decided immediately to appoint the deputy head as acting head 10 months later without even advertising the job. So I made some inquiries. I contacted the chair of governors in private and in good faith and asked her to explain what a rationale was and what was going to happen. Her response, in my opinion, was rather evasive. So I asked again, and I wrote to all the governors asking them to explain what was happening and why they decided to do that. I posted that letter in a WhatsApp group. It's a private parents WhatsApp group. On that WhatsApp group, like most parents, we chunted about a few things. One thing we talked about on that group was a letter from the school commanding all parents not to talk about the school on Facebook or social media or WhatsApp groups. We thought that was a bit off. My partner Rosalind made a handful of vaguely spicy comments. She referred to one school leader as a control freak. She said the chair of governors didn't know much about anything. Out of the blue, on the 12th of July last year, the chair of governors wrote to Rosalind and me. She accused us of posting disparaging and inflammatory comments on WhatsApp and Facebook, and she warned us that if we didn't stop, she would ban us from our daughter's school. So we pushed back. We complained. We denied the accusations. We complained that they'd been accessing our messages, and 2 days later, they banned us from the school. Now, this ban had really serious implications for our daughter, Sasha. She has epilepsy, she's disabled, she has special needs. We weren't allowed to have normal conversations with the school. We could only send emails. So we had to send emails about everything our daughter needed for her health and education. We were going through the school's formal complaints policy. And then on the 20th December, there was a knock on the door. It was a police officer. He showed up completely out of the blue. He told me in no uncertain terms not to contact the school, not to speak to anybody about the head teacher recruitment issue. He even told me to take my daughter out of the school. In the end, we gave up, I suppose. We took Sasha out of the school. We arranged a transfer to another local primary school. Sasha's last day at Cowley Hill was the 24th of January. 5 days later, the police turned up. When we were finally interviewed, the detective, who'd had no previous involvement with the case, he turned out not to have any evidence of those alleged crimes. He had no documents, he had no first-hand accounts. He just had a vague statement from the acting head teacher at the school. It was Kafkaesque. It was...
Well, the point is that they didn't even have any evidence about any harassment whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And they held them in the police station until midnight that night while their daughter's at home alone.
Yep. I want to know, did they leave any links we can write to the school?
No, I didn't find any.
Bastards.
Fucking rat bastards.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Same shit's happening in Germany, in France.
Yeah, Germany, all you got to do is look at somebody cross-eyed and they'll throw you in jail.
Yep.
Yep.
They're bragging about it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's true, Nathan. The refugees can say whatever they want, but yeah. Yeah, that is so true. So Musk is stepping down from Doge.
Oh.
Well, if you look at the terms of his employment there as that, if you want to call it, it was only for 130 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming up on the end of it, so it's not like he's,
Yeah, you're not like he's giving up because you win. You got me.
Yeah. It's just I didn't remember what the terms were, so it seemed kind of sudden to me, but whatever.
I say renew his contract.
Chuck, Vinny asked a question about the Facebook chat.
Oh, okay. Let me take a look at that.
This was good. Because you're not paying attention.
Yeah, Vinny, we talked about that at the beginning of the show, that the Supreme Court sided with the FDA. Jim was saying there's got to be more to it.
Yeah.
And that sounds like there really is, but that's their final. It's fucked up. They said
now the report he just sent you. Who published that one? Like the one Devin shared was NBC.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me bring that up again. Oh, there it is. Reuters.
Oh, okay. That's a little more.
Yep. It says U.S. Supreme Court largely backs FDA's denial of flavored vape
largely backs.
Yeah, so there is more to it.
It's all in the wording. It's all right there.
Yeah, but I still think that Chevron deference is going to be the best thing for the vapors.
Yeah.
Damn it, Dylan.
Yeah, ultimately, it's going to come down to that, and it's going to, yes, they're going to make it, they're going to preen and look like, oh, we're winning. No. Just like they did through the election, just like they did through the last administration, just like they always do. Everything's great. Look this way.
All the companies, most of the companies that are against vaping are, if vaping and smoking were to stop, they wouldn't have they wouldn't exist. We wouldn't need them. So they have to keep bitching about stuff.
But it all comes back to, what the hell does it matter to you?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, don't do it. If you're worried about your kid doing it, pay better attention to your kid. That's what my parents had to do. How do you think I got busted smoking cigarettes?
Yeah.
Wasn't the school's problem. It wasn't the neighbor's problem. My dad and my mother, they had to, control me.
Well, that and it's easier to tell you're smoking.
Yeah. But it wasn't even the guy at the store that sold them to me. It was me. I made that decision.
Yeah. Well, they're blaming it on the epidemic, the spike in children vaping, which went down after 2019 when they raised the smoking age.
Yeah, but they're not correlating it with the decline in smoking of teenagers. I'll bet you the numbers are still down. You take the number of teenagers that no longer smoke because they vape.
Yeah.
I'll bet you it's still low. I bet you we still save more kids.
I think you're right.
But it's not my job to worry about your kid. To a point, I'm not a cold-hearted monster. No.
Mm-mm.
Just a Dylan. But it's not my job to change my life to suit your kids because you don't want to be a parent.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not up to me to change my life to suit your fantasies. It just shut up and leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
That and the state doesn't have the right to force it on those that are not involved in the case.
Exactly.
Yeah. But also, when you stop and think about it, it really seems like it's being led by big tobacco ultimately, because
it is.
Just follow the money. But yeah. I mean, that's common sense. Nobody wants to see that.
The only approved devices are made by big tobacco, except for one.
And which country was it that was gonna sue Bloomberg?
I don't know.
For putting out false information. Yeah, it was like the Philippines or something.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years ago. But what are they going to do when they realize that they're getting rid of their master settlement agreement money?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of pensions tied up in that.
Yeah.
California was big tied up into it.
But you know it, I know it. They just can't and won't admit it.
Well, also, the way lobbying works, it doesn't take a whole from big tobacco. Hundreds of thousands of dollars is a lot to a lawmaker, but not to big tobacco. They give them these gifts and say, outlaw flavored vapes. And the lawmaker says, sure.
Yeah. And don't forget who owns big tobacco. Big pharma.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other threat.
Big food.
Yep. That's the other threat, because it's coming up against Chantix and all these other meds that are supposed to help that don't.
And I still see nicotine on the shelves in the Walmart. You can just walk by and pick up your flavors and shit, whatever. Yep.
So, we made a visit to the Houthis, my Navy brethren.
Saw that. Took care of their drinking problem.
Yeah. Let's see.
This is what happens when you decide to attack the U.S. Navy. On January 6, 2025, a U.S. aircraft carrier was minding its own business in the Red Sea, when all of a sudden, multiple fast-moving contacts appeared on their radar screens. With just seconds to react, U.S. sailors had to shoot down these threats. What happened after is a good reason why you don't touch the
warning. There's going to be a lot of detail in this.
Boats. At 1740 local time, the guided missile destroyer USS Gravely was about 20 miles away from the carrier when she saw some telltale blips on her spy radar. Within 2 seconds, Spy's command and decision system ran about 20 million calculations and came to just one conclusion every time: missiles were inbound. Upon confirming the inbound missiles, the Gravely sounded the alarm and went to general quarters. As sailors rushed to their battle stations, the ship alerted the carrier to scram, and she kicked on her 2 offline.
We don't call it battle stations, we call it general quarters.
Engines. In about 90 seconds, Gravely would be at full power, steaming toward the carrier at 30 knots. But in this fight, seconds are what separate success from failure. The electronic warfare corner of combat soon confirmed that the signals coming from the missiles indicated they were 2 Charlie 802s inbound. The Charlie 802 is the Houthis' favorite anti-ship weapon. With a range of around 150 miles, this subsonic missile can only travel at around 610 miles per hour and delivers a 364-pound armor-piercing warhead. Despite being subsonic, the Charlie 802 does have a sea-skimming feature. This function allows the missile to fly just a couple of feet off the water to stay below Spy's minimum elevation, or at least try to. At a range of around 150 miles, the missiles would be within range of the ship's SM-2 missiles in a matter of seconds. The SM-2 stands for Standard Missile 2 and is the bread and butter of the Navy's air defense. These missiles are capable of reaching speeds of Mach 3.5 and a max range of around 105 miles. Nice. This is because the Gravely just fired 2 SM-2 Block 3 Alpha at the Charlie 802, since the Block 3 Alphas are a less sophisticated, older variant perfect for this low and slow threat. The ship will preserve its more advanced SM-2 missiles for higher capability threats. But of course, any missile can have high capabilities if it hits its target. This is why, after firing its first salvo, Spy sees a giant debris field with several large chunks of missile that could indicate the missiles are still inbound. Just to make sure, the Gravely double taps the threats and fires 2 more missiles towards the debris field. By 1757, Spy indicates that the ship has splashed all threats at a safe range of 75 miles, but the crew has little time to celebrate. At 1800, Spy picks up 4 more contacts. However, these are much slower and smaller than the Charlie 802s they just shot down. After analyzing their signal emissions, the crew determines these are 4 Shahed 136 attack drones inbound. With a top speed of 115 miles per hour, these drones carry a 50-pound warhead. Although getting hit by them won't sink the ship, who wants to get punched in the face willingly? The Navy sure doesn't. Because these drones are less advanced, the ship's captain decides not to waste a missile on them. After all, expending a $3 million missile on a $5,000 drone is part of Iran's game plan anyways. Instead, the skipper lulls the Houthis into a sense of security as the drones close on his ship to within 10 miles. That is when he pulls out his secret weapon. As the Gravely comes about to show her stern towards the drones, she is not doing so in an act of defiance or to run away. Rather, she is unmasking her batteries to fire her Sea Whiz at the drones, the close-in weapon system known as Sea Whiz.
Yeah, Dylan, it's a gun, not a peepee.
Is normally the last-ditch effort in a missile engagement. However, it is also used to take out slow-moving drones, helicopters, and surface contacts too. At 10 miles away, the Sea Whiz's radar begins tracking and developing fire control solutions for all the drones. When they get to 3 miles, the captain orders batteries release, and the drones are met with a literal wall of lead. The Sea Whiz can lob 20mm shells at a rate of 3,000 to 4,500 per minute. After engaging one drone, it takes just a few milliseconds for it to engage another. In less time than it takes for a human to even register that they're coming, all 4 drones are now just useless junk floating on the water's surface.
Yep.
With confirmation.
Well, that's just some cool shit, I think.
That's awesome, cool shit.
It is. Now, the computers they use to control all this, those are the computers I was training to fix in the Navy.
That's awesome.
That shit's old. Yeah, fun stuff, man. I was 2 decks below the main gun on the destroyer when they wanted to fire it off and show people what it was like. I swear, I was in this room 2 decks below, and the room, when they fired the gun, the room went like that and then back in. Now, it might not have. It might have been just warping my perception, but shit, that was something. Oh my gosh. So. Oh. Hey, Jim.
Hi.
You might have a joke for us?
I think I might. Let's see. This guy, he's standing in the grocery store line, and he's got himself a 50-pound bag of dog food, and accosts the lady behind him. Oh, you got a dog? Well, you know, he's pretty frustrated, had a bad day, and because everybody says that when you carrying a bag of dog food. So he figures he's going to fuck around with the old lady. So he goes, oh, no, ma'am. He says, I'm starting the dog food diet again. He goes, I did so well on it last time. I lost 150 pounds in 6 months. He goes, it's awesome. He says, you slip a handful in your pocket. They're portable, the little nuggets. It's all nutritious. He says, but I did wake up in the ICU, tubes and hoses sticking out of me, machines that went beep. She goes, oh, my goodness, what happened? Did you have an allergic reaction? Did you get poisoned? What? He goes, nah, I stopped in the street to lick my nuts and got hit by a bus.
Shit. Oh, man. That's funny. Let me get a link here for Zoom. So, thanks, everybody, for coming out.
Oh, that was funny, Jim.
Thanks for joining us. Say a prayer for America.
Don't be a dick.
God bless.
Dylan, leave your clothes on.
My clothes are on, thank you.
Y'all have a good night. Hey, Brian.